The offer of death in high-ticket sales. I know this sounds extremely morbid and very serious. That is because it is. There is nothing more devastating, more destructive to the hopes, the dreams, the wishes of a high-ticket closer than the offer of death. In this video, I'm going to share with you what that offer of death is, how you will know if you're on the offer of death, and most importantly, how to not let it kill you. I've been in the high-ticket sales industry now for over 5 years. I built my income to over $100,000 a month in commissions. I then trained top sales teams in the industry, like Alex Hormozi's old gym launch sales team. And there's nothing that has killed the hopes and the dreams of more high-ticket salespeople than the offer of death. So what is the offer of death? The offer of death is when you are on an offer that is not getting you the lead flow, that is not at the right price point, and that you are not aligned with in terms of what you're selling or how they want you to sell. And as a result, you aren't making the money that you want to or need to be making to fulfill your hopes and dreams and wishes. But here's the problem, and here's why it's the offer of death. To get off that offer, you need to have enough float or enough cash available that from the day of your last paycheck on the shitty offer until the day you get your first paycheck on the new offer, which can be 30, 60 days, you need enough cash to sustain your living expenses in order to make the jump. And for most salespeople, they don't. And so what happens? They stay on that shitty offer and they never get off it. Weeks, months, even years go by and they're still making $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 a month. And after their expenses, that is zero. They are not making any money. They might even be going backwards, putting it on credit cards, their living expenses, having their savings being depleted. They are building and digging their own grave. And the reason this happens is because they don't break down how to solve the problem. They don't have a plan. And because I know that this kills more high-ticket salespeople than anything else in the industry, forget tonality, objection handling training, or sales scripts, being on the wrong offer and being stuck on the wrong offer is the offer of death. I'm not saying you're physically going to die, although financial stress has given a lot of people heart attacks, but that's not what I'm talking about. When I say you're gonna die, it's the offer of death. If you do not get off this wrong high-ticket offer, your hopes, your dreams, and your wishes will forever die because they are only going to be realized and you will only experience them in your life if you actually get onto a better offer and start making more money so you can pay for your hopes and dreams. But I see so many salespeople that never live the life of their dreams. They never get the watch. They never have the house. They never have the car. They never retire their parents. They never do the traveling, whatever it is that they want to do because of being stuck on the offer of death. And this vicious cycle of, I need to get off this offer. I'm not making any money. I can't wait 30, 60 days to the next paycheck on the new offer. I'll just stay on the existing offer because I have no other option. This happens all the time and salespeople just stay stuck there. So I'm going to break down exactly how you fix that. So the first thing is to very clearly define the problem. The problem is exactly what I laid out, but I want you to see it visually. You're going to get one paycheck and there's going to be a gap until the next paycheck. Okay? That gap could be 30 to 60 days. I know it could be 15. I know it could be 90, but in general, it's going to be 30 to 60 days. What are those 30 to 60 days? You have to start on the new offer, do all the onboarding, get trained up. You might have to pass some type of minimum standard before they'll give you live leads, or you move out from outbound dialing into inbound sales. And then there will be a delay until payday. Your commission check doesn't come in when you have a sale. There's a 2-week or a 4-week usually pay cycle. For most high ticket offers these days, it's 4 weeks. So it's going to be somewhere between 30 to 60 days. If your expenses are $5,000 a month and you're not going to have any income coming in for 30 to 60 days, how much do you need? You need $10,000. Most high ticket closers that aren't crushing it, and you wouldn't be watching this if you're crushing it, don't have $10,000 savings to burn through to switch from the bad offer that is slowly killing them to an okay, better, or great offer, depends what level you get of an offer. They don't have that $10,000. So they just die. Their hopes, their dreams, their wishes die. I said this is serious. It is very serious to me because my job as a mentor is to make sure you don't die on the process, because more people fail to hit their hopes and dreams and goals because they die on the way. And this is when people say they quit than from anything else. It's not that they fuck something up or they get things wrong. It's just they can't stay on the path. They die on the path. And as a high ticket closer, this is where they die. They die by being stuck permanently on this offer. Let's quickly define what that offer looks like. Not enough calls. So you don't have enough volume. And that could be the amount of calls per day, or it could be the inconsistency. We'll cover both of those in calls, okay? Next one is the price point is too low. If you're selling a $2,000, $3,000, even $4,000 to $5,000 offer these days, you're never going to make a massive amount of money. You're not going to hit 30, 40, 50K unless you're working your ass off. And I don't mean the good putting in the hard work. I mean burning the candle at both ends, which is not sustainable. And the third thing with a offer that's slowly killing you is the methodology, we'll call it SM, which is sales methodology, is not aligned. They're telling you to sell a script, you don't want to sell a script. They're telling you to say certain things on the call, you don't think those are ethical. Hopefully you have ethics and morals, or hopefully you have an idea of how you want to sell. If you don't have an idea of how you want to sell, watch all of my other videos on YouTube, see how I sell, see how I train my students and clients to sell, and you might realize you want to sell one way instead of another way. These are the three things on one of these incorrect offers that is going to slowly kill you. Because if you're not got enough call, if you don't have enough calls, you're not making enough money per call, and you aren't aligned with the methodology, you are never going to go up. So the first thing is defining what the problem is, which is I need $10,000 to make the 30 to 60 day jump. Okay. So now we have to get into, well, what stops high ticket closers from making that jump? I'll say the first thing one more time. Define the problem, which is what we just covered, but so many salespeople do not do this. The defined problem is I need 10K, okay? You want to print that out. You want to write 10K on a piece of paper, stick it up on your wall next to where you take your calls every single day. And you want to look at that motherfucker all the time. This activates your reticular activating system, your subconscious mind, manifestation, whatever you subscribe to. It's always 100 times better to define the problem and stick it up somewhere you're going to see frequently, okay? The next thing you want to do, step 2, is break that down into a timeline. A goal without a timeline is just a fucking pipe dream. So that 10K, how long do you want to do it in? Do you want to do it in 30 days? Okay, well, what is that? 10K divided by 30 days, let's say, what is that? $300 a day? Yeah, $333 per day, 333. Interesting. So times by 10, 3,300 times by, yeah. That's right. So you define this per day. This is now how much you need to have in net earnings as a high ticket closer per day. Now, bear in mind, you're on an offer that isn't giving you many calls, that the calls aren't that great with the leads, and the price point isn't that great, and you aren't really aligned with the methodology. It is what it is. You've got to make the most of that current situation and still hit $333 a day. Now, I understand it might not be daily. You might have day 1, no sales. Day 2, no sales. Day 3, a 1K commission. If you were selling a 10K product, you get $1,000 at 10%. I get that. But just being able to see it daily is going to make a massive difference to you being able to move now from defining the problem to problem, we'll call this problem solving. Excuse the terrible handwriting, probably a pen that's too thick here. Problem solving, okay? You then want to track this in an Excel sheet, an end of day report. This is not for your sales manager. This is for you. What you do not track doesn't get measured, and what doesn't get measured doesn't get managed. The reciprocal of that is true. What gets measured gets managed. So measure this every single day. Did I hit 333? No, I hit 0. Okay, well then what do I have to hit tomorrow? 666, because 2 times 333. If it's 0 day 1, 0 day 2, you write down day 3, I need to hit 1,000. And you keep tracking this. And don't worry, don't get too up in your head if 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days go by and you don't make a sale or you don't have any leads. You just need to know what it is you're attempting to hit. And trust me, there is so many spiritual laws in sales and in life that when you actually lock in on the target, it's highly likely what you find is all of a sudden you get more calls because you actually manifested it. You shaped your own reality from the determination to define the problem, 10K a month. Then you broke it down into actual tangible action steps, 333, okay? You'll find that you start fixing the problem simply because you're now showing up the way you need to be showing up to solve a problem. All right, let's get into number 3. I touched on it. Number 3 is what are your resources available? What do you need to manage in order to hit these numbers? Well, one of the things that you need to manage, this is my terrible drawing of a clock, is your time, okay? With your time, you're managing your energy. You're choosing what are you expending or gaining your energy from or on during your time. During your time, whilst you're making this $10,000, you also have to be seeking out a better offer, obviously. So you have to really track your time and say, okay, I've got 1 call a day. It is what it is. What am I going to do with the rest of my time? There is 2 things that you need to do with the rest of your time. Are you clear on what those two things are? Number one is get offer. I'm running out of space, so I'll just say get offer. Get a better offer. That means be in the Facebook groups, DM the Instagram sales managers, high ticket offer owners. If you're in a network, utilize and extract from the network offers inside the Unicorn Closer Mastermind. We have a whole offer network tab of all the different business owners, high ticket offer owners, sales managers that message me constantly on Instagram. Hey, have you got unicorn closers? Have you got unicorn closers? Have you got unicorn closers? So if you are in some type of mentorship, some type of mastermind where you have access to that, leverage it. Your time needs to be used. If you don't use your time, it will use you. I'll say that again. You don't use your time, it will use you. And as I said with the title of this video, what is it using you for? To kill your hopes and dreams. The offer of death. This is it. The offer of death. What is the second thing you need to do with your time? This is very important. This is critical. You have limited call volume, low price point, and something you're not really that aligned with. So with your time, you have to do every fucking thing in your power to make sure that when you do get on a sales call from this offer, you close that motherfucker. So what is it you need to do? You damn better be doing some sales training. If you aren't inside a high-level sales training, like the Unicorn Closer Mastermind, watch my YouTube videos. Every goddamn fucking hour of the day, be sales training as one of the things that you're doing. Do not be reading books. Do not be hanging out with your girlfriend or your boyfriend, going to the cinema, none of that bullshit. You have a 30, 60-day goal, which is get this fucking 10K. And I'm getting heated because I don't want you to die. By die, I mean your hopes, dreams, and wishes. I am a sales mentor. I am a mentor to the people that want to live the life of their dreams. This is very, very personal and passionate for me because I want you to be able to get the watch. In 2020, I was working 4 jobs, taking drugs, drinking alcohol. I had no direction. I had depression. I was undirected and I hated my life. And quite frankly, I hated myself. And because I had a mentor, because I paid and invested in having a mentor who is still my mentor today and is the mentor alongside me to the members and clients of the Unicorn Closer Mastermind, I was able to build the life of my dreams. And holy fuck, am I glad I did. My life is so different now, and I want that for you. That's why I'm so passionate about That's why I'm recording this video, so that you don't just die along the way, ending up in this never-ending cycle of being on the offer of death that just your time is going by, your heart is beating, you're breathing, but you are dead inside. You are mediocre, average, middle of the road. You've settled. Nothing in your life is changing. You're not living where you want to live. You're not driving the car you want to drive. You're not retiring your parents. You're not traveling business class. You're probably not traveling anywhere. You don't have the watch. You don't have the nice things. I don't want that life for you. So that is why this is so important. So the second thing you need to do with your time is maximize closing deals. What is it you need to do? Inside the Unicorn Closer Mastermind, we have a whole internal mastery system. It's called the Launchpad. It is what I trained Alex Hormozi's old gym launch sales team on. And it took them to their highest close rates in over a year. And it was internal mastery training. And with that internal mastery training, we help closers see what it is they need to be doing with their time in terms of their energy, state, and emotional management, their health, optimizing their health for peak performance, their daily habits and rituals, aligning their values. So during your time, you're locked into the right beliefs, the right values, dialing in your environment so it's serving you, not sabotaging you. There is a number of things you need to do. If you want help to execute this, to implement this, to make these changes in what you're doing with your time that ensures when you get on a sales call, you have the highest likelihood of closing that deal. Below this video, there is a link to join the Unicorn Closer Mastermind. And myself and my underground mentor, as well as the full community of all the other unicorn closers, can help you to implement this so that when you get your sales calls, however many you have right now, you can have the highest likelihood of closing the deal and getting a paid in full and earning the commissions that you want to be earning. So you've got 2 things to do with your time. Number 1, spend your time finding the better offer. And number 2, whatever those things are for you, you better fucking make sure that you do everything in your power so that when you get your shot, you call it your at bat, you hit a home run. You do not have enough calls or a high enough price point or this internal alignment sufficiently enough to miss the ball, to not hit a home run. You do not have enough at bats to screw up the very limited number of calls with low leverage, because it's a low price point, that you do have available. So you have to look at your schedule and be militant. You have to look at that schedule and say, what sales training am I doing? What am I doing for internal mastery? What am I doing for state management? What am I doing to ensure I have the right beliefs? And what am I doing to get on a better offer? And your schedule needs to be jam-packed with serving you to accomplish this problem that we've defined, which is getting that 10K or whatever the number is for you, so that you have the float to get past the 30 to 60 day window so you can get off this shitty offer and get on a better offer, okay? So that is your time. Your time is the only final asset that you have to solve this problem. First asset is defining the problem. Once you got a goal and you can clearly see what it is, you actually have more clarity and more focus and more determination. Second asset is breaking this down into manageable daily steps. Okay, it's just $333 a day. Over 3 days, I've got to get one $1,000 commission check, okay? And the third asset you have is your time. Do everything in your time to ensure that you get a better offer and you close the deals that you do actually have. That is it. The offer of death is so dangerous and so destructive to so many high ticket closers, kills all their hopes, dreams, and wishes. Yet to actually fix it, all you've really got to do is lock in on a plan. Now, this is not the only problem you're going to run into as a high ticket sales closer. There's other things called the dead zone, which is a completely different topic. The reason I bring that up is you might be watching this and think, okay, I'll just solve this problem. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but even when you get on a better offer, you'll have another problem. And if you don't know how to solve these problems, you'll either never solve them, that's option one, and how much are you losing in terms of your hopes, dreams, and wishes if you never solve the next problem? Option two, you take a massive amount of time and lost money and lost effort to figure it out on your own. So you've lost however much time and money to try and work it out on your own. And it might take you 6 weeks or 6 months to figure it out on your own. Or option three, you do what I did. You do what my mentor did. You do what all the unicorns in the Unicorn Closer Mastermind are doing. And you do what every successful person who ever lived did. And you hire a mentor who can show you the problems and say, I've already fixed that problem. I ran into that problem. My mentor showed me how to do it. Let me now show you how to do it. And you're able to shortcut your learning curve, your costs to figure things out on your own by investing in a mentor. There's a very famous quote that says by Warren Buffett, you have to learn from mistakes. In fact, it might be Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett's mentor. You have to learn from mistakes, but nobody says they have to be your own. Now, on my YouTube, I've broken down some of these problems. The dead zone, I've got a video of that on my YouTube channel. You can go check that out. But there are so many of these problems, and how you navigate it needs to be customized to you based on where you're at, what your current assets are, what your current resources are, what your current skill set is. And the way to do that is to have direct mentorship, feedback, and guidance and support from a mentor. If you want that so that you, when you run into the next problem, you can just leapfrog over it, then click the link below this video and join the Unicorn Closer Mastermind. But for now, if you are on this offer of death, do not let it kill you. Work out what the problem is in terms of the shortfall of money, break it down, manage your time, put everything in your time to get on a better offer, put everything in your time to make sure you close the deals you do have, and fix at least this problem, the offer of death, so you can get on a better offer. Couple of final end notes. Do not try getting on the best offer. The likelihood that you get on the best offer when you're not in a mastermind, you don't have connections, and you're not killing it as a closer is very slim. The only caveat to that is if you want to join the offer as a setter, you may get on a really good offer as a setter and work your way up. But inside the Unicorn Closer Mastermind, even closers that chose to go from a closer back to a setter to jump onto a much better offer, they only got onto that better offer because the sales manager was also in the Unicorn Closer Mastermind and had seen these closers investing in themselves, putting in the work, showing up. And they thought, yeah, I'm gonna trust that this person's gonna crush it on my offer, the offer that I'm managing. So do not be jumping out of this, as they say, out of the pot into the frying pan. Don't jump out of this problem into another problem, which is you're now just looking to get on some insane killer offer from the get-go. Probably not going to happen. But if you're on an offer that is literally not earning you anything after expenses, you need to get on a better offer. And as I said before about defining a timeline, you have to do that quickly. Don't let it be 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, which I've seen before, and that just kills closers internally, emotionally. They just shut down. Do it in 30 days. Do it in 60 days. Make it fucking happen. So there you go. That is the offer of death and how to avoid it. It is not that complicated, but if you are in this situation and you've been struggling to figure out how to get out of it, the reason is it's so much harder to see our own problems and figure out our own problems when we are in the problem. And that is one of the massive values of having a mentor. They can see things impartially. Number one, because they're not in the problem. And number two, because they've already got to the other side of that problem. They've been through the eye of the storm and they're looking back and saying, oh yeah, I remember when I was in that, I got stuck with this and then this and then this. But what ultimately solved the problem was this thing. They're looking back with 20/20 hindsight vision. If you want help to solve this problem and implement and execute and be held accountable to the things that I've shared in this training, below the video is a link to join the Unicorn Closer Mastermind. You'll get mentorship from myself, my mentor, and all the support in the community by being around the other unicorns. Or if you want to make sure that moving forward, you solve every other problem by having mentorship, same story. Click the link below the video, join the Unicorn Closer Mastermind, and I'll see you on the inside.